What if I told you that some of the biggest hits from your favorite artists all trace back to one man? Mike Dean is a Grammy Award-winning diamond producer known for creating out-of-this-world melodies. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how he does that. And I mean the exact plugins he uses, chord progressions, delay presets, and even down to his textures. And we won't miss one bit. To do this, I'll be splitting this video into two different beats. First, in the style of Travis Scott, then we'll step into the synth room, where I'll be using the same type of analog hardware Mike Dean is famous for to really capture the Weeknd sound. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just how he creates his sound, but how you can take those same techniques and put it into your music. Let's get into it. So for this first beat, we'll be focusing on Mike Dean's genius process when working with artists like Travis Scott and Don Toliver. Think dark melodies, crazy synth solos, and of course, a hard beat. All right, so one of the best ways to start these tracks off is of course some chords, man. Right here, I'm in Pigments, and I've got this OBX8 preset from Patch Play. I'm gonna start us off with a normal C minor chord. Probably gonna bring us down 5 to like an F right here. So kind of blend in quite nicely. Let's make a root note right here. We can then just literally go down here to this G, create a chord again. And I bring it down even more, maybe. That's not bad, that's not bad, that's a cool start. Okay, yeah, so we have a cool sort of guideline there, but it doesn't sound Mike Dean enough, if you know what I mean. You can go to the voices right here. And there you go, now it sounds more stereo, without and with. Yeah, a lot more better there. So you can change the detune right here, you can automate it, which, I mean, it's already been done. It's gonna sound more like a synth. One more thing I'm gonna add is a little phaser. Okay, but let's just like make it very minor. So it adds a little bit of texture in there, you know? Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's try and change the key a little bit. That's hard. So now I have the chords. This is the trick, which, I mean, I feel like I always use, man, for these sort of beats. Go to Valhalla delay. Just add like a lot of delay on the 8th step right here. Bring the feedback up a lot. So I'm going to bring this to the playlist. And I'm actually going to add like a little gap here. So we're going to hear that feedback come in. So now I have it like that. I'm going to export this out. I'm just going to click reverse on this new layer that I exported out. Because of course it's reverse. So all of these chords are going to be backwards. So we're going to want to bring it the right way. You know what I'm saying? That's like a pretty cool texture on it, you know? Bring it up an octave. And of course, up an octave, it sounds horrible, right? Let's be honest. So let's put a chorus on there. Let's make this more stereo. And I'm gonna make this main one more mono. Okay, so now it's kind of been a little bit more nicer. When it comes to arrangement, we're gonna grab that main tail that I left at the start and we're gonna go like this. Yeah. Another thing that Mike Dean does, man, is of course ARPs, and whenever he uses ARPs, a lot of the time he uses the same preset as he does on the chords. So let's try that now. I'm gonna go to the same OBX8 preset right here. Since it's an ARP, we're gonna change this a little bit. So let's remove all of the release on these sounds. There you go, and now it sounds like an ARP sounds. Of course, an FL, if I was to create an ARP, I'd do something like this, right? A normal sort of pattern. Which sounds fine, but what actual synths do, instead of having a pattern like this, like a very simple one, we can just grab this little arrow here and bring this across until this top note reaches that bar right there. Because then you bring it across and it's going to end here. And then we're just going to duplicate that again. I'm going to do that for each of these chords right here. I feel like the up is kind of slow. If we want to make it like double the speed, we can do that same arrow trick. Just grab this arrow, bring this across to like here. There you go, that's quite cool. Of course, Mike Dean, man, we need that delay. All right, let's reverse this. I want to see what it sounds like in a different key. Oh, damn. So there's one more thing I want to add to this section. This is more of sort of the intro. We need a bass, right? We need a bass. So this bass is more so for the intro. So we're going to keep this one simple. And later on in this video, we're going to definitely spice up this bass. All right, so now just put some notes in between. Dun, 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 dun. Oh! Gap. cool. So I feel like we have a nice sort of intro right there. Let's get on to the actual drop. We definitely need just like a crazy, honestly, just like a beat switch, to be honest. We have to definitely have some crazy ARP. And I'm just want to go to synth experiments, because if not, we're going to be here literally all day. Of course, these are all from real analog synths. If you guys do want that, I'm sure to go check it out. Top link in the description. What's that? Give me that. Nah, hold on. Yo, this is gonna go crazy. If I want to have this switch up, fade in very nicely, we definitely need to use that same preset, but let's just create something darker. Oh, come on. Let's put some drums on this part. So of course, Mike Dean isn't actually known for the drums, but we're gonna have some drums on here, man. So let's just go crazy in the drums and go back to Mike Dean's style for the melodies. Okay. Let's layer this with some of the analog drums and synth experiments. One there. Yeah, all right. Well, now we need an 808 on that. It goes up here. Oh. On this main melody right here, I want to add like some stutter at a certain point. So I'm going to go to shape box. Hopefully it's got something in there that I could use. God, wait, hold on. Whoa, I did not even mean that. Wait. We could do that for another section. Hold on. All right, I guess we're going to the B section then. Now we need some stuff from synth experiments for sure to really spice this up. So let's try and see what we can grab. Oh, this one might work actually. And then we can bring this to the bridge. Okay, so now for this bridge section, we definitely need to switch up a little bit. We need to make it more Mike Dean, man. We can't use the same thing. So let's change this up a little bit. I want these chords to be a bit bigger as well. I'm just gonna add even more notes onto it. So what we can do actually is we can add a fifth. So here I want like an even harder bass. Actually, I'm going to get one from the OBXA, which is of course a synth that Mike Dean actually uses. Yo, to really over exaggerate that, I'm going to get this high end and just going to do create automation clip, make it come in over time. You can hear it coming in. We need like another crazy lead sound right here. Maybe an ARP. Oh, one like that. And for this one, we definitely want to add like loads of delay. Add some like modular stuff onto that as well. All right, now it's time to go crazy on that lead. Hold on. All right, yeah, we've got to freestyle this. Okay, so there's definitely something there. We just need to pick out some parts. Wait, this part here is sick. But I'm gonna do that crazy riff that Mike does. I'm gonna show you guys how you can kind of replicate that. I'm gonna put this down to A minor. I won't be able to play that riff in D sharp minor. There you go, because I won't be able to play that in. One other thing he does in these crazy leads is whenever he finishes that crazy riff, he loves to add this little pitch shift thing with the mod wheel. So you're gonna go up here, change this range to 5. And there you go. Now when you glide it, it's just gonna sound just like Mike Dean. this. I want to actually add a grand piano to layer over that main sound to really over-exaggerate that last little bit. So chop it like this. All right, so just for some finishing touches, man, I'm just going to put some delay on at random parts because, of course, this is what you hear in Mike Dean's production. When with transitions, you hear these little 8th note delays. This one's crazy. So I'm just put this delay in at random points. So for example here. So another one here as well. I think we finally have the final track for this Travis Scott, Mike Dean beat, man. This one came out crazy. If I was to talk about the takeaways, I'll be here forever. But the biggest takeaways you guys can take from this is make use of your delay. Do some really cool delay patterns right here. As you guys can see, I used it on the master channel right here. You know, having these bridges with these reversed pads right here. Different basses for different sections. But yeah, anyway, let's listen to this final beat. It's got the intro part, you know, nothing too crazy. Okay. And the drums come in. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, I can Travis on this for sure. Yeah. And this section, ready? Woohoo! Damn. For the outro. Alright, yeah, so that's the Travis Scott section. On to the next one. Now for the second beat, we'll be focusing on the Weeknd sound. A commercially known sound with dark intros and synth wave drops, which honestly just sound crazy. I'll be breaking down the intro section here. Then for the drop, I'll be going to the synth room to use the exact synths that he's known to use. So I first started this off with an Ace Nylon Mark II guitar from Flex. Honestly, it doesn't really matter exactly what guitar you have because you're gonna throw it through guitar rig anyway, let's be real. Effects wise, I mean, as I said, Guitar Rig 7 with this preset, a Tape J37, bit of delay, bit of vinyl. You make something sound natural, man. You have to randomize the sound by just clicking Option R or Alt R if you're in Windows. Anyway, let's break down this MIDI. I start off with a C sharp minor chord and I just brought a C up. I just messed around with the placement because we kind of have to make like an arpeggiated guitar pattern, right? And then I brought this up to a F sharp minor chord right here and just did that same thing, that same pattern, did the same thing here, but instead of going up and down, I went down and up. This is something that Mike Dean does on these melodies. You can actually hear it in Reflections dancing. And it adds like a really sort of eerie vibe to it, which I really liked. One thing that Mike Dean loves to do is differentiate from a live bass to a synth bass. I used this live bass from Flex and I created this pattern. You know, there's a few things you can take from this, like for example these little breaks here. This is something that's natural when you're actually playing a live bass guitar. Notes right here are just sort of improv, which is something Mike Dean's known to do. And this is the part that I wish I had on camera, man, because this is crazy to make. I created this pattern with the same guitar. The impressive part was what I put on it. I put a normal guitar rig on and a Juno chorus. I mean, it already sounds a lot more better, right? It adds like a nice sort of tremolo effect to it. I literally just duplicated the same thing, made it unique, and I brought this down 700 cents. These notes are gonna more or less be in key depending on what you're playing. This is initially pretty similar to how Mike Dean does his actual guitar melodies. He normally uses a harmonizer. This is what a harmonizer does, right? Just adds that depth to it, you know? As you can hear, it's blending in. So I went to Synth Experiments and I grabbed a few bits from there. I grabbed just a few little textures from there, some atmosphere and a waterfall one. This is what they sound like. So I grabbed this bass from Synth Palace Vintage. It's almost like a more simplified version of that live bass. So I added this in. Yeah, sick. And I added just some little textures here and there. Like, bro. Yeah, so that is the main intro part that I made. This really sets a nice guideline. Let's just go to the synth room. Let's do that. Yeah, I definitely want some sort of like, I don't know, like synth brass. Let's see what we can do. I'm bringing this down to C just so I can play it. Oh yeah, something at the end. Let's put some effects on this. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, I want to change this bit. I want to have like a whole different pad section here. Alright, it's there somewhere. It's there somewhere. Now let's do a bass line. This is where the you know what I'm saying, the actual funky bit comes in. I'm gonna start off by just getting the rhythm right. So maybe something like this. Just change it like this. And then just bring it down. But I'm gonna put a shape box on this to really sort of add some bounce to it. Put it on like a quarter. All right, now let's get some drums on it. Gotta be a 4 on the floor, right? So add this on top as well. Yeah. I'm gonna mess around with this right here. Let's just chop this up a little bit. Make it a bit more psychedelic, sort of Weeknd style. And of course, for the snare, let's go to Synth Experiments. Let's get some analog sort of snares. Yeah, let's just beef up the snare a little bit. So for them real pop snares, man, instead of just having it hit here, we're going to actually shift it a little bit. And look at the difference this makes. It really adds like a nice bounce to it. All right, now we need one of them sort of bound ones. Like we need like a sort of reso bass for this section. Oh! Add like some little glides here. Oh, I like it like that. Hold on. That's sick. What if we layer this as well? Bring some up on this. All right, yeah. Let's add some more synth stuff for sure. Nah, that's crazy. Some reverb on that. Some delay as well. Now we should do some little finishing touches to kind of finish off this main drop. So I'm gonna go to Synth Experiments. Oh, that one's quite cool. Get some more of these. Come on, man. And for the second section, we're just gonna bring this up an octave and layer it. Days, like, come on. Just make it seem like really big. And also, I want to add like a piano right here just to literally layer with the chords. We have these root notes right here. Bring these up and let's keep this velocity quite high as well. There you go. These bring this up. There you go. I think that's that main drop done. We just need to make sure everything transitions. Maybe bringing these in to sort of transition them in a little bit nicer. So for a riser, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go to this number 17 and do a little bit like what I did on the Travis Scott one. I'm going to create an automation clip right here and almost use it like a riser. So I'm just going to bring this cutoff up. And obviously bring it back down when it drops. If you listen to tracks like Timeless, one of his biggest tracks, he does have this sort of riser which is made by actual synth chords. This is what I did right here to make this fade in with a cutoff. This is another thing that Mike Dean does. All right, I think we have the final beat here. This came out crazy, man. Honestly, like for a weekend beat, I think this definitely was down his lane. This is for sure something Mike Dean would make, of course. Takeaways on this, I mean, man, the same like the Travis Scott one. There's so many takeaways you can take. Having that sort of call and response in the intro and just having a drop, which is completely different. It's great for these weekend beats. And of course, man, texture is just really good for this, man. Just these little texture points. Of course, I use Synth Experiments for it, just here and here, and just these little like textures right here just makes it sound just that little bit more synthy. And that's how you get that Mike Dean sound, man. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something from this. Anyway, let's just give this one a final listen. Oh, the guitar. Little textures as well. Clean. Riser, ready? Woo. That's crazy. Bam. Woo. That's crazy. Yeah.